The deepest depths of the world's oceans are a mysterious place that we know next to nothing about. Strange noises and weird sightings occur in the deep ocean all the time, with many remaining unexplained to this day. These 5 deep-sea anomalies that can't be explained have stumped us all, with some of them only recently being identified. Others, however, continue to elude our best guesses for now. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content. With that being said, let's begin. Number 5. Huge moving object. A recent discovery has proven that some seriously strange things are happening at the bottom of the world's oceans. The North Pacific in particular has seen some very odd tracks that are only now showing up in satellite images of the ocean floor. One picture from Google Earth is being cited as proof of an alien race living under the sea, completely unknown to us. While that seems like the most far-fetched answer we could imagine, the initial statement was outdone when it was pointed out that this image shows what looks like trenches and structures that backers of this theory say are unmistakably artificially created. We'll comment first by stating that trenches are nothing new as far as the ocean floor is concerned, with many theories like this debunked time and time again. What makes this particular group of conspiracy theories interesting is that they also claim that some of the objects have actually moved along the ocean floor in recent years, leaving a trail in their wake. These theorists are conveniently leaving out a wealth of scientific information that proves these formations and phenomena are the result of natural processes, with the leap to alien life forms being seen by many respected scientists and deep-sea researchers to be a bit of a stretch. That being said, if this is evidence of underground alien bases, then we'd better get prepped for an invasion sometime soon. Ancient alien theorists have made these kinds of claims before, and we really need some evidence before we buy into it wholeheartedly. But it goes without saying that ocean life is pretty alien in and of itself, with sufficient proof to assume that life on our own planet was born out of the world's oceans. It could be that life as we know it was seeded with debris from outside our current location in outer space, but it's just too much to ask us to believe that alien life forms are currently engaging in widespread deep-sea construction projects, as well as traveling across our ocean floors to the point where immense highways can be easily seen from space, without raising at least a few more red flags than a still Google Earth image showing what looks like a completely normal ocean environment. It's also worth pointing out that we're already absolutely aware of construction projects and unnatural structures on the seafloor because, well, we put them there. Underwater cables thread their way all over the oceans of the world, and oil rigs run all the way to the bottom, stirring up all sorts of trouble. These obvious answers, however, just don't register with some. Number 4. Milky Seas. So this one does in fact have an explanation, but it's too crazy to miss out on and is an impressive deep-sea anomaly in its own right. There's also debate as to the real cause of Milky Seas, with 2 theories based on either bacteria or dinoflagellates. These Milky Seas, also known as Mareal to some, stretch up to 6,000 square miles and glow so intensely that they can be clearly seen by satellites at night. Even though we have a basic understanding of the phenomenon, we really don't know all that much about it, even now. Many scientists do remain skeptical about the abilities of bacteria to produce enough bioluminescence to generate the amount of light the phenomenon has been said to have. The majority of the science community is convinced, however, that the effect is caused by either Vibrio harveyi, a type of bacteria, or Noctiluca scintillans, known by some as sea sparkle, which is both types of dinoflagellate found in ocean environments. The effect was brought to popularity when it was documented in Jules Verne's classic 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That being said, many people were convinced back then that it actually existed, with many assuming that it was a fictional prop. What's clear is that the effect is very real and is remarkable to see. Researchers have said that while it shows up as white in pictures, it's actually more of a blue color, with some saying that it can even be tinted green. The effect can be seen all over the world, with different areas having slightly different effects. The green seas, for example, are usually only seen around the Shetland Islands, just off the coast of Great Britain, with most other instances maintaining the distinct blue color. Number 3. Underwater crop circles. We really don't understand the fascination people have with crop circles. They're really not an impressive feat for alien life forms to pull off after they mastered space travel of all things, and they take a lot more time than simply making up an abduction story, although they do make you look much less, well, crazy. This underwater phenomenon, dubbed deep-sea crop circles by some, baffled researchers and scientists alike for decades until a relatively recent discovery shed some light on the situation. Hailed as irrefutable proof of aliens and their interference with the world's oceans by many, these deep-sea crop circles turned out to be the creations of pufferfish, now at the top of our list as the ocean's most creative deep-sea critter. First discovered just off the coast of Amami Oshima Island in Japan in the early 90s, nobody knew anything about these incredibly beautiful and sometimes amazingly intricate designs. The shapes were found in the sand on the sea floor, without much evidence as to who or what had made them. This, as can be expected, left them open to conspiracy theorists to add to the pile, insisting that they had to be otherworldly. Science has, thankfully, prevailed, with researchers witnessing male pufferfish creating the structures as a way to attract females. They spend over a week making each structure in the sand, carefully using their body to carve out peaks and valleys, leading to the distinct formation. They jet in from the outside, then back out as they reach the middle of the structure in order to leave the center of the circle untouched, with the result being an impressive display of artistic prowess. The entire structure is actually a nest, with the females laying her eggs in the middle of those they find appropriate and to their liking. This just goes to show that not every mysterious anomaly needs a mysterious answer, with a little due diligence and careful study being all that's required to find the true answers to the ocean's many mysteries. We're not saying that aliens aren't out there, but we do think that a reasonable approach to these things is better than any other. We also really dig what goes on in the deep ocean, and couldn't help but point out once again that life down there is wildly miraculous and wholly foreign to us at this point, with mankind knowing more about the workings of our solar system than our oceans. It's also funny to think that such an enduring mystery was caused by such an unassuming and awkward little creature. Number 2, Julia. Julia is the name of one particular underwater sound that many are convinced remains a mystery to this very day. Others have stated that it was just a routine noise created by an iceberg grounding itself in the Antarctic Ocean. Those who disagree have claimed that it was much too loud and didn't sound at all like what they would expect from an iceberg scraping against the sea floor. That being said, the evidence overwhelmingly points to this strange noise recorded on March 1st, 1999, being part of an everyday ocean activity. Sounds that are very similar to the one we now know as Julia have been proven to be related to iceberg activities and are also very close to another popular mystery sound dubbed slowdown, which is also the result of an iceberg grounding itself. The point of origin for these sounds is still unknown, although scientists are sure that it occurred between Bransfield Strait and Cape Adare at around 9 p.m. GMT. The sound is definitely strange, but that's also the case of anything heard underwater, with any sound recorded underneath the ocean's surface usually being equally alien in nature. While the proof of this is quite apparent, it's impressive to think that a chunk of ice rubbing the sea floor is able to generate enough energy to penetrate so clearly at such a distance. We're just beginning to understand how sounds travel through the world's oceans, with recent advances giving us unparalleled understanding of previously unknown processes. We still have a long way to go, with many strange mysteries still to uncover, however, and wading through all that open space is gonna take a lot of work. Number 1. Underwater machines. This grainy footage comes from the same source as item number 5, but instead of aliens spreading out across our sea floor, we have what appears to be footage taken by someone on board a boat in the middle of the ocean. It doesn't look like anything's terribly amiss until you catch sight of a strange white shape gliding silently beneath the waves. It looks odd, but not all that sinister, until a little red light flashes, revealing that it's not a fish or rock formation, but looks, for all intents and purposes, like something that came out of the Terminator movies. We can't speak to the validity of the footage, but it does seem quite ominous, especially when paired with the aforementioned idea that aliens are slowly making a home for themselves on the ocean floor. Seems like they got tired of waiting for us to find them and sent their own sentinels out to touch base with us first. This footage is iffy at best, but many people are claiming it has to be something otherworldly. The age of the theorist has hit with the dawn of the information age, with the internet allowing all sorts of people to get together and share whatever theories they wish, drumming up a lot of attention in the meantime. We don't mind the trend, but we do think that alien robots wouldn't be quite so bold with some random with a camera, only to effectively elude the entire rest of the world. Again, we're not saying that we don't believe whoever took this footage, but we're not gonna end up convinced quite that easy. We say bring us the body of whatever that was and let us decide for ourselves. Until then, we're happy to remain blissfully skeptical. We do, however, enjoy a good mystery, and do hope that something akin to this surfaces eventually. It could be that we did actually see some mysterious sea creature equipped with some kind of natural bioluminescence that we've yet to discover, which would be seriously cool. It could even be a new species of giant squid, some kind of plesiosaur type creature, or something completely unknown to science. We'd still need evidence and would prefer bringing any live specimens in, well, alive, which is unfortunately rarely the case when it comes to hauling in strange creatures of the deep. Hope you enjoyed the video, folks. If you did, make sure you click that subscribe button before you head out if you're new. That's all you have to do. Come on, just click it. I know you want to. Oh, and if you enjoyed the video, drop a like. I heard it gives you superpowers in the future or something. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.